Namaskar. Welcome to the sixth episode of the series named From Taboo to Truth, where we explored different intricacies of Sanatan Dharma and Indian mysticism. In the last episode, we talked about various limbs of Sanatan Dharma and the paths that emerged thereafter. In today's episode, we will talk about the different types of doctrines that emerged in these paths and also shed light on what Vedas and Upanishads are. So let's start. In the coming years, two different kinds of doctrines emerged from these two paths: the Sakarvad, or the doctrine of form, and the Nirakarvad, or the doctrine of formless. Let's understand each of these terms one by one. But before that, we need to understand the meaning of doctrine itself. Doctrine signifies a belief or a set of beliefs held by a particular group. The Sakarvad, or the doctrine of form, proposes that the source of creation or the divine is Sakar, or has a particular shape and form, and is Saguna, which means it has particular characteristics. So we should worship and address the divine accordingly. Whereas the Nirakarvad, or the doctrine of formless, proposes that the divine is Nirakar, which means it doesn't have any form, and is also Nirguna, which means it doesn't have any qualities either. As time progressed, the Sakarvad, or the doctrine of the form, branched into two lineages. One said that the forms of Shakti, or the divine feminine, should not be known as they are because they are confidential and top secret. Their images are just made like that. But the other one said no. The energy who has created this entire universe is the most powerful. Any image you choose to worship her, she will manifest in front of you by taking the form of that image. So, we will worship her in a form and with qualities or gunas. While the Sakarvad proposed that the divine is a particular form and qualities, the Nirakarvad proposed that the divine has no form and has no qualities because the qualities of the divine is out of one's learning, and the divine is transcendently situated out of the very Maya, or the delusions of the material realm. So based on these ideologies, there have been constant debates among rishis over generations. And these commentaries on debates by different rishis manifested as the knowledge of Upanishads. Upanishads mean where the disciple converses with his guru about various aspects of life to quench his thirst for knowledge, and the guru resolves the issue by using one of the three methods. Number 1, through valid arguments. Number 2, asking the disciple to undergo a specific sadhana or a spiritual process so that the answer or the knowledge could be experientially realized. And number 3, by transmitting the knowledge in the form of energy through induction called as Shakti path. The knowledge that is imbibed by realizing the entire Upanishads has been established as Vedas. Now the question arises is what happens after it? Well, as the Vedas and Upanishads were being established, different doctrines got added in our Sanatan Dharma and later became very popular. One particular doctrine that emerged proposed the worshipping of different deities, which resulted in the emergence of Bharatiya Darshan. The method by which I am explaining everything to you is through Bharatiya Darshan, or in layman terms what we call as the philosophy of India. In our most ancient literatures and philosophies, there were guidelines to worship the evident manifestations of the divine, or the Pratyaksha Devatas. The sun, the sky, the water, the air, etc. are all termed as Pratyaksha Devatas, or the evident forms of the divine, because these forms we can see and experience even if we haven't undergone any spiritual advancement. After these forms comes the place of Guru. Now the question arises that Why, in the hierarchy of Pratyaksha Devatas, the place of Guru is also enshrined. To know that, wait till the next episode. Till then, Namaskar.
अनकहे सवाल है जो कर रहे हैं गुदगुदी, अनजानी सी प्यास है जो बुझती नहीं, ख्वाहिशें हैं ख्वाब हैं चाहते अरमान है, जज्बातों में सोच है गुम हूँ कहीं।